Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and Handshake Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, Jayden Ginsweider. Joining me here at Sound Peak Studios in Topeka, Kansas is my co-host, Shane Price. Shane, how you doing this week?
I'm all right.
And for our very special Wrestlemania predictions episode, we have Jolka here.
Hi.
So this week's on the collar and elbow. Jolka might not have as much input on the collar and elbow this week, but we saw a video of The Rock wearing a New Japan Pro Wrestling t-shirt this week. So, Shane, right now, currently, what are your NJPW WWE dream matches?
ZSJ Gunther.
That's the first one, obviously.
Which probably already happened.
Well, it's happened a bunch of times, but like this version of ZSJ versus this version of Gunther is a whole different ballgame.
I would say Gunther's in most of them.
Yeah.
Gunther Ishii.
Hiromu Takahashi, Rey Mysterio.
Most of them. Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, a lot of juniors and Rey Mysterio would be cool to see. Tanahashi Cena is the big one too.
Yeah.
Because they're both retiring. They both popped up around the same time.
What about like?
Ryohei Oiwa and Obafemi?
That'd be fun.
Also, like Gable's actually
Javon
Jr.
Evans, Oldesby.
Javon Evans and like anybody. What about like a women's thing? I'm blanking on her name, but the IWGP Women's Champion.
Iwatani.
Iwatani, yeah. What about her? Her against anybody? I mean,
Io Shirai doesn't count. Kairi doesn't count.
Because they've already done that.
Yeah,
recently.
Recently with Kairi, yeah.
Yeah, recently with Kairi especially, yeah.
Can't count Viper, can't count Kaylee Ray, can't count.
What about like Bianca?
Yeah, Bianca will be fun.
Okay. I'm just trying to throw a women's match in there. Trying to think tag team wise, anybody?
Actually, I got a women's one.
Okay.
Konami Asuka.
That would be awesome.
It's student teacher.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Who if AJ went back for one more match, who do you want his opponent to be?
One more time Tanahashi.
One more time Tanahashi. Okay, beyond one more time Tanahashi. What about like a new opponent that he didn't get to face? Would be like Yota Tsuji.
Does Takeshita count here?
Takeshita, yeah. Styles Takeshita would be awesome. Yeah. So those are some of our New Japan WWE Dream matches. Let's get into the news from the week. On the AEW Ring of Honor side, a Ring of Honor Women's Pure title announced. So the Serena Deeb Here Damn Championship. What do you think of that Women's Pure title?
I think it's another title that won't really mean anything in the long run.
Yep,
but
absolutely.
It's nice to have.
Rocky Romero says there's cool news coming very soon related to AEW New Japan and CMLL partnership. What do you think this could be?
I have a hunch it was the Arena Mexico.
The Arena Mexico.
Because they're doing Fantastic Mania in Mexico 2 days before.
Oh, okay. So you think that's what he was referring to?
The return of Sin Cara.
I think it's going to be a show on the 21st.
Okay.
In between the two.
My idea was big international tournament.
That'd be fun too.
Something like that. Sin Cara actually does wrestle in CMLL now as Mystico. He
He's
went back
good.
to his
He's
original
good
ring
again.
name from before he was Sin Cara.
Oh, he's Mystico now.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's wrestling in CMLL, so he has been a part of this AEW partnership.
And he's good now. That's the funny thing.
He was terrible in WWE.
He just didn't work for the WWE style. Like it's just something
he was literally maybe the best wrestler in the world before he went to WWE.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing he did in WWE is when he didn't get enough bounce to clear the top rope on the way to the ring. That was always classic.
Remember when he broke his finger and called the match?
I don't
he called the match?
Yeah. Called off the match. Just
Oh,
he broke his finger and called a match against Del Rio.
During the match, he broke his finger, and what a pussy! What? Yeah, you're gonna have to bleep that out.
I don't care. Just let it run.
Wow.
And then Kevin Knight announced that he is on a dual deal with AEW New Japan. So we kind of
assumed. I hope he
theorized
stays. I hope he stays in New Japan.
But he is technically on a two-way deal.
All the top stars leaving the heavyweight division. It's a land opportunity over there.
Mm-hmm. In WWE news, Dory Funk Sr., Kamala, that's how you pronounce
Kamala,
that. Yeah, and Ivan Koloff to be inducted into WWE Hall of Fame as legacy inductees. Funk Sr. and Koloff, I get. Kamala should be just his own inductee.
You wait till he sues you. You don't help him out for his entire life, and after he dies, you put him in the Hall of Fame. Nice going there.
Another reason wrestling should have a union. Jeff,
Your thoughts on that?
That would be amazing if wrestling had a union, because you have you are at the whim of every individual promoter that you go work for.
you and every other wrestler except for Hulk Hogan agrees.
Yeah.
And Hulk Hogan's the only reason there's not one. Jesse Ventura would have started one in like '87 if it wasn't for Hogan.
So I would be doing that shit all the time. They're like, all right, it's gonna be you and New Jack tonight. I'm gonna call my union rep.
I think New Jack hit the union too.
Yeah, New Jack would get it.
New Jack could be that set at like the scab refs.
Yeah. And then in New Japan news, over the course of the last week, we've learned that Jeff Cobb, Tetsuya Naito, and Bushi are all granted their requests to leave New Japan. Slash not going to be extended on a new contract kind of deal.
There's no bigger loss than Naito in here. He's still a draw. People love him still.
He's just...
I 7 hours away from here in Chicago. I cheered my ass off for him.
No inside information on this, obviously. We don't really know. My theory is that Naito wanted big money, and New Japan was like, you can barely see, and your knees don't work. We're not going to be able to give you that much money anymore. And I think that's probably where it fell apart.
Just contract match to Yano. Have him be the new Yano.
Yeah, or we kind of discussed that he could be in that new Yuji Nagata spot. Have him just work with Young Lions, every other month. Have a
but that's
Young Lions match.
Contractually obligated, which require a contract.
Which require a contract, yeah. Jeff Cobb, obviously a huge deal. He's so young. Not so young, but he's younger.
How old is he?
How old is he?
I don't know. He hasn't been around that long, is what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean just fresh new?
Yeah, like he's wrestling young, obviously.
He's 42.
He's 42?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. He looks so Just looking at him and like how long he's been like in the limelight, I thought he was like 32.
He's been in the limelight for like 10 years, dude.
I have to ask every time since I've seen Nick Wayne. I'm just like, who is this 15-year-old kid they got on AEW?
But Jeff Cobb, I guess, he's been reportedly listed on WWE's internal roster for a while. He had just won the IWGP tag titles, so him and Callum Newman had to vacate those. Bishamon will face Callum Newman and Grado Khan for those tag titles at New Japan Red Zone about later this month, about a week and a half. And then Bushi, what are your thoughts on him moving forward?
He wants to leave for Naito. He'll go wherever Naito goes.
Okay.
So wherever that might be.
Because, of course, he's in the same faction as Naito in New Japan. They're both LIJ.
Although I will say that both of the other two traditionally big three companies and not really DDT or Dragon Gate, who are maybe the real 3 and 4 right now. The new All Japan and Noah desperately need new juniors.
And Bushi would be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jeff Cobb probably going to WWE. Naito, I imagine, will make sporadic appearances for other companies. I could see him. I don't think he could live up to the expectations of an AEW or WWE run.
You know what Minoru Suzuki's like wacky wild DDT adventure he has right now, with like the baseball fields and the bullet trains.
Yeah,
that's just what Naito does these days.
Yeah. So Naito, I could see him maybe going to AEW for one big match or something here and there, or I would love to see him go wrestle AJ Styles one more time, something like that. But I think he's just going to be a part-timer from here on out, and Bushi will just kind of follow him. So we'll see. Any dream matches for Cobb on the WWE side? Who do you want to see him face?
I feel like I say Gunther every time, but I think
yeah.
Gunther and him would be really fun. Any big dude who suplexes, really.
Yeah.
Obafemi would be fun. Just or like a really small dude like Ray.
Oh yeah.
Ray,
Jeff Cobb is great with smaller opponents.
May have already wrestled before in Lucha Underground. Don't quote me on that, but they may have done it before.
They might have. I don't want to go through looking it up right now, but yeah, they might have. Just trying to think. Braun Breaker, Jeff Cobb would be crazy.
Yeah. Dude, Tour of the
Penta
Islands.
Penta and Jeff Cobb, another one that probably happened.
Tour of the Islands. That did happen, by the way.
Yeah.
Tour of the Islands through the ring.
Cobb and Carmelo. Yeah, there's a lot. Oh, Cobb and Jacob Fatu.
Can you imagine Cobb, Javon Davis taking Tour of the Islands?
That would be crazy. Yeah, I'm excited for that. And then quick hits. I just have one headline here. Bryan Danielson says his son Buddy's favorite AEW wrestler is Brian Keith. Thoughts?
I believe it.
Yeah. I mean, he's cool. Brian Keith is awesome. I like that. We'll do like kind of a quick TV thing before we get into what the meat of the episode, which is WrestleMania predictions. But on Dynamite, unfortunately this week Pac was injured in his match with Swerve Strickland. Match had to end early. We wish him the best. John Moxley will take his spot in defending the trios titles at Dynamite.
So I just pretend that didn't happen.
I think the Ops will just win the trios titles.
I
think
hope so.
That's
but
probably the right pivot.
I was looking forward to a not John
And
Moxley
then-
main event.
On Dynamite, yeah, I don't know. That might not be the main event.
I mean,
There's a lot of big stuff happening on Dynamite this week.
I mean, either way, I feel like it's still going to be mostly Yuta and mostly Claudio.
Here's what I would like to see is the Ops win the trios titles, and then Claudio and Yuta as a tag team get into the tag title picture.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin versus Claudio and Yuta would be awesome. So
I love how they just changed the name, the Hurt Business.
To the Hurt Syndicate?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just they wouldn't if they could, you know what I mean? It's just trademark stuff.
I mean, you can see how lax Triple H is with all this, with all the new promotions, because he's not giving a crap anymore.
A little bit. He's changed some names, but yeah, it's definitely more lax than Vince. Vince was very scarred by Hulk Hogan taking Hulkamania to WCW, so
Yeah.
then it became almost everybody who jumped from anywhere then on got some sort of name change.
If you weren't grandfathered in, like Shawn Michaels and
we're gonna
people
own,
like that.
well, I just mean like anybody who jumped from another company. It's like we're gonna change you so that we own your persona here.
Right.
That's why he was Daniel Bryan and not Bryan Danielson. You know what I mean? There's exceptions. Jericho stayed Jericho.
The entire
The whole Radical all stayed with their same
the
name.
entire invasion.
Yeah, the entire invasion. So, but the invasion at that point they had bought WCW, and WCW wasn't really a competitor anymore,
Yeah,
so it
but
didn't matter.
Nobody changed their names though. It was kind of weird.
Yeah, and then like Samoa Joe, AJ Styles got to keep their names, stuff like that. Speaking of the Hurt Syndicate, though, MJF only gets one of the 3 thumbs up he needs to join. Do you think this will be like a progressive thing where like maybe in a couple weeks, maybe in a month, he gets Shelton Benjamin on his side, and then eventually he gets Lashley on his side, or do you think it never happens?
I think it never happens, but I think it is the first bit of drama with the Hurt Syndicate we're going to see.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'll get 2 out of 3.
Okay. And then Chris Jericho taking a break. He was actually kind of good in the segment where he just completely lost his shit on Big Bill and Brian Keith. I thought it was decent. I would be interested in him coming back as just a completely unhinged lunatic.
That's, I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like how 2010 Jericho was American Psycho Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Just like a unhinged animal Chris Jericho yelling.
Yeah, kind of like a more like a. I'm trying to say like kind of like his what was his New Japan
American
gimmick?
Psycho,
The Painmaker.
Painmaker, yeah.
Kind of the Painmaker, but more like sporadic.
Painmaker without the shitty makeup.
Yeah. What about with different shitty makeup?
Actually, no, I'll take it.
So there's
the mouth curves on the
for the
side.
first time in a while, we're at kind of a lane where there's Jericho could do something cool here. It's just will he do the cool thing?
It's not.
I don't know.
It's not touring with Fozzy.
I'm saying also like the last month and a half, 2 months of that Bandito feud was handled really well. He did a very good job there. I think credit where credit is due. The last few years as a whole have been pretty shitty for Jericho, quality wise. But the end of that Bandito feud was very good.
My boss could not believe Jericho was like no reaction anymore.
Yeah.
He couldn't believe it.
Well, because he used to be the man. Like he used to be one of the top guys.
That's in the 90s. He was one of his favorite guys. Like, oh my God, nobody believes Jericho anymore, man.
No.
What were you saying?
I was agreeing with him. The new Jericho sucks. Like, if he had a time machine,
really, it's everything up until like
this motherfucker makes fun of every Jericho.
he'd put himself on the list if he knew.
Yeah.
At the time.
See, it's like everything up until the end of that first Ring of Honor title run he had in AEW. Once that ended, that's where it starts going really downhill. Everything before that's pretty good for the most part.
I think it started going downhill for him when his belly button went past his nipples. I'm like, that's that's right when it started.
Which is kind of timed with the.
On Collision, the only segment I really want to talk about was the opening segment, which was FTR explaining their actions. They called Tony Schiavone into the ring.
I loved this.
They are backing Shivani into a corner like they're going to attack Shivani, and Nigel McGuinness stands up from the announce table and defends Tony Schiavone, and then Daniel Garcia runs in, and there's a little bit of stuff there. And then later in the show, FTR just bloody up 2.0, Daniel Garcia's friends. They brutalized.
They got Midnight Magic good.
Yeah.
They got him.
What did you think of this whole FTR
This is
episode?
being 2.0 like a legit contender, which I never thought would happen in my life.
Here's what I'm saying. Double or nothing, FTR versus Nigel and Daniel Garcia. Like, that'd be awesome.
I want to delay that one and for All In because Nigel's a special occasion guy.
But double or nothing's just that's your second big. This is your Royal Rumble. This kicks off the road to All In.
Yeah,
this is where we crown the Owen Hart winners. This is where
though.
we know who's going to get what.
Where we have 2.0 though.
2.0. Where do they come in?
Yeah.
Later, and that could just be a special.
I think
that could also just be a special Dynamite episode.
2.0 being at Double or Nothing, and then in June in Mexico we do Double or Beginners.
Maybe, I don't know. And also 2.0 could just happen on like a Dynamite, or that could happen on Spring Breakthrough Collision this week. They could get a rematch or something. You know what I mean? It could be on a special episode of TV. So on SmackDown, we kind of talked about this before the podcast, but Orton seems to still be getting a match at Mania. Personally, I will lose my shit if it's Nick Aldis. That seems like the most fun, reasonable option is if Nick Aldis wrestles him. I think storyline-wise, Sami Zayn would make a lot of sense, but it's probably going to be Solo Sikoa. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Oh, man.
It's probably going to be Solo Sikoa. But in a perfect world, they'd grab this guy off the Independence that we were talking about last week, the Invisible Man, and make Randy Orton just go solo in WrestleMania. Like, that would... I would love to see what he does.
That's pretty much the same as wrestling Solo Sikoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's fair. That's very fair.
I don't know. I'm excited to see what Orton does. I hope it's not Solo. I hope it's a bigger surprise. It could also be the return of Aleister Black or Rusev, who are both rumored to be coming back. Seems like too big of a stage to be Jeff Cobb's debut. I think he'll be an NXT guy first. Or some legend. Like, could it be Goldberg? Could it be Rob Van Dam? Could it be Jeff Hardy?
How great would it be night one, John Cena's like, I need a warm-up, me and Orton.
It's a hell of a warm-up.
I know.
That'd be such a good move, though.
No, I think we get Orton Cena at Backlash because it's in St. Louis. I think that's where we'll get Orton Cena for the last time.
You think he's gonna stay past WrestleMania?
Cena?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's announced for past WrestleMania.
He's winning the belt. With the
whether he wins the belt or not, he's going all the way to the end of the year. And they already announced that is there going to be a Saturday night's main event in Boston at the end of the year? So I think that's going to be his retirement match. Will be a Saturday night's main event in Boston.
Oh my God, that's awesome! That means I get to see heel Cena in person.
Yeah, probably.
Like that.
He's definitely announced for the Raw between Mania and the Kansas City Raw. I don't know if he'll be at the Kansas City Raw, but it's possible.
I hope so.
I saw him in Tulsa a couple years ago when he was on his run back for a little bit there.
That's what I might do for the first time. Just get the whole John Cena get up and just mean mug kids all night.
Yeah. You already have the U.S. Championship, don't you?
No, I sold that.
You sold the U.S. Championship?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right now I got the Smoking Skull and the AEW title.
Okay.
That's close enough.
Yeah.
I really thought about bringing the AEW title. I'm like, wonder what they would do.
I don't think anybody really cares that much in person. I think it's more of an internet is where you'll see
they've made people turn around shirts, put shirts on. So
for like if you show up to Raw with like WWE will make people do that.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Really? I didn't know.
It happened to Jimmy Lloyd in 2020.
Did it really?
Yeah.
But they give you a shirt.
They do. They give him a Hurt Business shirt. He put it on.
My hope would be like, you need to put that away, but here's a belt, and you can hold that up all
Here's
night long.
$100.
Like,
Yeah. Also from SmackDown, I like the way Tiffany and Charlotte have heated up the feud.
Do you mean by going off script, brother?
Yeah, I thought it's been interesting television.
I mean, it has.
I'm still not super excited for the match because I'm just not a fan of Charlotte. But it's more interesting than it was a couple weeks ago. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm excited. What have you thought about that? Them making it a little more real.
I like that.
Yeah,
it's about time because the women's storylines, like, they just seem to like be going lower at the moment.
Mhm.
And with this, I think it'll work out pretty well.
Yep. On Raw, we had an incredible promo from Gunther in response to the incredible promo last week from Jey Uso.
Gunther is shook.
Dude, yeah. I'm
Jimmy Uso saved it.
Jimmy Uso saved it. We've saved it.
Jimmy Uso saved this match.
We've been saying that over and over again for like 3 weeks now. Yeah.
Gotta give him his flowers.
Yeah, you got to give Jimmy his flowers. He saved this.
Did you see when he did the one yeet, because he's trying not to do it at all? He was like, fuck. You see him was like, fuck on camera.
Yeah.
He just consumed me.
In Jay's promo this week, he didn't say yeet a lot, but it was a very in the same style of his other promos where he does say yeet a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of venturing different from his promo last week, which was incredible, that like I'm gonna pray for you, Gunther, because of what I'm gonna do to you. Like that's, God, that was.
I like this Jimmy Uso. Like he's not like denying the whole crap that he did, but if him not doing it and just the crowd hitting him with it every time he comes out, that's way more powerful than him like making them do it.
Yeah, exactly. Than him doing it along with them. Yeah, that's absolutely. AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross, I thought was a pretty good match. The better end of the Kross WWE experience. I think this match goes on, and I loved Kross. The whole point of this feud has been Kross trying to get the killer out of AJ Styles again. No pun intended, because he was formerly Killer Kross. But I love Kross putting his hands behind his back and taking the phenomenal forearm.
Yeah, with a smile on his face. That was something.
Because all he's trying to do is, again, kind of like how Jimmy Uso made the Gunther Jay feud, Karrion Kross is making the AJ Logan Paul feud. Like, this is the same. Kross went out of his way to go to the guy who designs AJ's tights and get a pair of tights from him. You know what I mean? Like, Karrion Kross is going out of his way to try to make this Logan Paul feud as interesting as possible.
I think
Logan Paul shown up on TV 3 times.
Karrion Kross, I think, is the #1 backstage on TV talent right now. He just the way he talks to everybody.
Yes.
Tries to give them such backhanded advice with just smiling at them like, "What's wrong, buddy?"
Yeah.
Like,
I think he's been really good. What have you thought, Shane? Karrion Kross. Also, he's wrestling at Bloodsport.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's been. I thought him and Paul Ellering were the really highlights of their stable when they saw him in person before. So I like seeing him getting pushed.
Yeah,
I wish it was with Paul Ellering and Scarlett, but I'll take what I can get.
I would love an AJ Kross rematch at Backlash. I think that'd be really interesting. And then a pretty great segment with Roman, Heyman, Seth, and Punk at the end. I like the way they've put this match together. I like Heyman being such an involvement. There was a little bit of shakiness in some of the promo work and in some of the brawl, but it wasn't terrible. I liked it. What did you guys think of that closing angle?
I thought it was pretty good. I mean, you know, this bill's kind of been sucky because the world title's been really crappy, and
yeah, I was thinking about this. There's matches I'm really excited for, but as far as WrestleMania goes, the whole pie, the entire build has been kind of disappointing.
It doesn't
as a whole.
feel like a Mania build.
Yeah.
no, probably because they went all out last year. It's hard to top that.
Yeah.
The Rock became full time for like 3 months last year.
Yeah.
Cena isn't.
That would be, for the record, part-time. Part-time. I don't care what The Rock calls it.
Yeah.
That's part-time.
He used all
not full-time, but like, he was there every week.
He used all the part-times on his punch card for those 3 months.
Yeah.
And when he showed up at Bad Blood, just so that Punk wouldn't be in the main event.
If you asked them, like, did you do any of the house shows? Like, they still do house shows?
Yeah.
They just stopped doing it. Like
Fort Wayne, Indiana still exists?
I thought I'd write that off the map.
Yeah. Let's do. I'm trying to decide what we should do first. Should we talk about Windy City Riot first, or go into Mania predictions first?
Oh man,
because you were at Windy City Riot.
Let's do Mania predictions first.
Mania predictions first. All
right.
That's
gonna be a chunk of our time.
Yeah. So we have 13 matches announced. There's probably going to be 14 matches because whatever Orton does, but we won't predict that as we have no idea who he's wrestling.
Right.
Jolka, you haven't been on since we've been doing this, but Shane and I have a new system for how we do our predictions against each other because we usually keep score against each other.
Yeah, and you never lose. And this WrestleMania, that's going to change.
Well, here's what's happened. We came up with a new system, which is a confidence point system. So however many matches there are, like say if it's a 5-match card, the match that you're most confident in your pick on, you put 5 points on it. Second most confident, you put 4 points on it, on and down, and then the match you're least confident on, you put 1 point on it.
Okay.
So,
Are we going through individual winners too throughout the card?
Yeah, that's what we're saying. We're going through all of them. You won't have to do the points thing if you don't want to. You can just give your prediction.
Oh no, I need every bet. You are going to lose this WrestleMania.
But what's happened is since we've started this confidence point thing, Shane's beating me.
Oh,
He's won, so we've done 10 so far. He's won 6. We've tied 1. And total points, he's up 276 to 260.
yeah, but
So-
that's not in my world.
Yeah.
My world's the PLEs that you've been spanking us on this past year.
Let me see. On WWE, yeah, I'm 2-0 in WWE this year. I beat him.
I just clear up everything else. You know?
I beat him 12-10 at the Rumble and 14-8 at Chamber.
Hashtag the streak ends.
And then my only other win was Wrestle Dynasty, which I only won by 6. I won 50 to 44, so it was a pretty close one. Great. So we're not splitting it. I'm going to do the night 1 matches first and the night 2 matches separate, but they're not 2 separate prediction events. So it's not like he can win night 1 and I can win night 2. It's the whole thing, right? We'll start with the War Raiders versus the New Day for the World Tag Team title. Kind of thrown together last minute.
You should make it interesting. We all have to choose each other's first pick.
No. We'll go with our own picks here.
This is my brother.
Interesting stat: Xavier Woods 0-8 at WrestleMania.
Huh.
Oh,
Kofi Kingston 2-13.
Really?
Wow.
He has the Kofi win and one other pre-New Day win. I think. I don't think New Day has ever won at WrestleMania.
That changes.
You think that changes?
I'm going to go New Day for 7. A nice,
Okay.
nice in the middle pick there.
and you get you get 1 through 10, but you only pick them once, right? Like you can only do
You
1
get,
7.
we have 13 matches, so you get 1 through 13.
Oh,
You only
okay.
pick each one once. Here, let me real quick. Yeah, so I'm gonna go. So he went with New Day for 7. I went with New Day as well, but I'm very confident in the New Day winning. I'm actually putting my 12 on the New Day.
Ooh.
I think the New Day are going to win, so I'm putting my second highest amount of points on that.
That's a lot of points right there.
That's a lot of points on New Day. What do you got?
I'll do a New Day for 13, Bob.
New Day all the way, the max amount. All right. Next up, we have 2.
He sees what I'm doing.
I do. It's my show, you know.
2 legendary luchadors. Rey Mysterio and El Grande
Did
Americano.
you hear they changed El Grande Americano's billing location?
Where'd they change it to?
Gulf of Mexico.
Oh, did they? That's cool.
Yeah.
The Gulf.
Well, they had it as the Gulf of America, and a lot of people, especially the Latino viewers, Latinx viewers, got mad about that.
That would be so much heat for them, though. That
Yeah,
would be perfect.
that's-
I feel like that was originally the point, but just because
It got a little too real.
Triple H was like apolitical, yeah, but Linda McMahon is in the government, so like.
Also, did you see what Triple H fucking said this week? That what Donald Trump is doing is generating heel heat.
Yeah.
Brother,
Dude,
the history's best heels, Mussolini, whole pot.
like, your brain has to be so broken to put politics in wrestling terms. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
he's
Like,
Wrestling has its own politics
You've
enough.
gotta
Yeah.
understand it. He spent his whole life in wrestling.
yeah, and he's been dropped on his head a million times.
Yes,
So,
those two are directly related,
like,
actually.
like it's just
He's
insane.
definitely shorter than when he began.
Yeah, but it all went to his nose.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So Rey Mysterio, El Grande Americano. This is one of those things where it's WrestleMania. I kind of just he is my boy, so there's a little bias, but I kind of just defaulted to the babyface. I went Ray for 6.
It's Ray.
Yeah.
I'll go Ray 10.
All right, Ray for 10.
I'm going to go El Grande Americano for 5.
Okay.
I think Ray wins Unmasked as Gable.
Okay. I did see
not
a theory.
Gable, though.
I saw a theory that it's actually 2 different people because there's some shots where you can see a back tattoo and there's some shots where you can't.
Oh, my God.
So it might actually be
Whoa.
2 different
What
people.
if it's Jason
Could you
Jordan?
imagine if my BS of it's not Gable this whole time is true?
Yeah. Next up, we have Naomi versus Jade Cargill. This is really up in the air for me.
Nah,
I
think
really
it's gonna
had-
be- I think it's going to be Jade.
what I did is I did the rest of my predictions, and I looked at how many heels I had winning and how many baby faces I had winning. And I was like, and then I went with Jade for 2 points.
I'm going to go Jade for 5.
Jade for 5.
I'm gonna go Naomi for 1.
Naomi for 1. Yeah, that's fair. Like I said, I really don't know who's going to win this match. Naomi's been. I mean, people are really loving Naomi as a heel. So
but they're there. You know they're going to push Jade so hard. So
maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
I think this is where it starts.
I think it's interesting if Jade wins, Bianca wins. I'm not going to predict Bianca, but it'd be interesting if Jade wins, Bianca wins, and then it turns out Bianca was in on it the whole time.
Yeah,
the way to make this feud more interesting is if Bianca was in it the whole time. Like if it doesn't end at Mania, that's what you do. And like her whole screaming fit at Chamber was all an act. Like that would have been great. Next for the United States Championship, we have LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu, the Samoan Werewolf.
Fatu 13.
I went Fatu 8.
Ooh.
There is a right choice. I know it's a mid-card title. There's a right choice in this match. It's not LA Knight.
But hey, those T-shirts are flying off the shelves.
Fatu. It's the last name.
I know, it's true.
It is the best wrestler in the family. It's the best wrestler in the family.
Fatu for 6.
Fatu for 6.
He is the wrestler that is universally loved, or even though he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
In the family. He's the only one people can stand.
Yep. Next for the WWE Women's Championship, we have Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. As we mentioned, this feud getting a little more real in recent weeks. The thing with me is that I feel like Stratton definitely should win, but there's always that LOL Charlotte Flair wins kind of thing.
Right.
So I went with Stratton, but I only put 3 on it because I'm not super confident it's going to
kind of crazy here. Mm-hmm. No contest won.
No. That's the first time since we've been doing this year that someone picked a tie. No contest for one. At Mania, a no contest at Mania.
If they either this is they're gonna play into it being going real. Mm-hmm. They're just gonna beat up each other. There's not gonna be a winner.
Okay.
The match won't even start.
All right, so I went Stratton 3. He went no contest for 1.
Ooh, it's
a bold pick. I mean, I guess just putting 1 point on it though, it's like.
Yeah, but if it's right, I look like a genius.
That's true.
I want to say Stratton for 4.
Stratton for 4. Okay, so kind of right on base with where I am. Next up for the World Heavyweight Championship, we have Gunther versus Jey Uso. As we said, this feud has been saved by Jimmy Uso, which is why I think Jey wins. Jimmy comes out, we get a big hug, kind of reminiscent of the Eddie Benoit moment, except for Jimmy wouldn't have a belt.
Yeah.
Jimmy comes out, drops him with a super kick.
The worst match of all time.
So I don't want this to happen, but I want to win. So I'm going to pick Jey Uso to win because I think that's what's going to happen. I'm going to go 7 points on that.
Oh, man. With the last promo, I don't know because everybody's kind of saying, well, why don't we just keep the title on him?
I know. Gunther's great.
But
I think they should keep the title on him.
Jey just... The crowd
because here's my kind of meta prediction for this. It won't officially give me any points, but I'm thinking night 1, match 1, entrance 1 is Jey Uso.
Yeah.
Like I think the first guy we see night 1 after the pre-show is Jey Uso
for the world title match.
Okay. That opens night 1, I think.
Yeah, because that triple threat match is closing night.
Triple threat match is closing. We'll predict that one next. So who you got? So who are you going with?
Jey.
How many points?
10.
All right. Jolka?
I'm going with Jey, and I'm going with 12.
Okay.
Because if he loses 4 straight to Gunther, he's not main eventing anything for a very long time.
Yeah. He will officially be upper mid-card Jey Uso.
Yeah. That main event's done.
Next up, another one I had a very hard time picking. CM Punk, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, triple threat match for custody of Paul Heyman. I have a fun theory that Heyman will do a favor for Rollins, and that favor will be screwing over Punk. It'll be helping Roman win just so that Punk loses. Seth doesn't care if he loses the match as long as Punk also loses the match. But
I don't know because it's
so.
I don't think Seth's going to be able to be a factor because he's going to hate Punk, turn around, hate Roman.
Yeah, there's. Both of Roman and Punk have more heat with Seth than they have with each other. They have the Heyman thing, which has become more of a more, but it's still not as much as they both hate Seth Rollins. I don't think Seth wins this. I'm so up in the air. I'm just gonna go Punk for 1 point. What do you got, Shane?
Punk for 2. I'm the same boat as you.
Yeah. What do you got?
I'm going to go. I don't want to go this way, but that's what I think is going to happen. Rollins for 3.
Rollins for 3. All right. I would love it. Rollins deserves the win the most. I want to put that out there. Like, he has been the workhorse of this. He deserves the win.
He's another one that can't lose another big match.
Yeah, that's true. So that does play into it. All right, so that's the end of night 1. Going on to night 2 here, we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez defending the women's tag titles against Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. I went with Liv and Raquel for 5. Another one that was kind of thrown together at the last minute.
Yeah, I think Liv for 8.
Liv and Raquel for 8.
Yep.
I'm going to take Liv and Raquel for 11.
All right. Oh, Shane, you did 10 twice. You did 10 on Ray and 10 on Jay.
Oh, I'll do 11 for Jay.
11 for Jay? Okay. And then we have Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a Sin City street fight. I think our only stipulated match of the card. I mean, we have other matches like a four-way and a couple three-ways that are no disqualification just by the nature of the match, but this is the only one with like a stipulation on it. So Drew and Priest, I went with Drew for 13.
Drew for 6.
Drew for 6, okay.
Do I have 6 left?
You've used 6. You got 7.
I'm going to do Damian for 7.
Damian for 7. All right. Next up, we have AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I went with AJ for 9 here. I just can't see Logan Paul beating AJ at WrestleMania.
I hate doing this, but I think Logan Paul's going to win.
All right. Logan for how many?
Well, 4.
Yeah, you can go 4.
I'll admit that Logan Paul's newest stolen move is the best one he's stolen yet. So I like it. I think he's gonna win.
I'm gonna say Logan Paul.
How many you want to put on it?
Do I got 5 in there?
You've used 5. Looks like you got 2, 8, 9,
and 10.
10. Wait, let's see.
All right, 2.
You want to put 2 on it? Okay.
Yeah.
You might have one more in there.
This gets a little harder when there's a lot of matches like this.
6, 7. You have 2, 8, 9. Yeah, 2, 8, 9, and 10 is what you had left. So yeah, that works.
Right.
You'll put 2 on Logan.
Yeah, 2 on Logan.
All right, next the 4-way for the Intercontinental title. We have Braun Breaker defending against Finn Balor, Dominic Mysterio, and Penta. I'm gonna go Dominic, and I'm gonna go 10. I'm putting a lot of chips on Dominic here.
I'm gonna go Dominic. What do I have?
Let me see. So you're gonna go Dom. You could go 3. You could go 9. What else are you missing? Oh, and 12. You have 3, 9, and 12 left.
I'll go 9.
Dominic for 9. All right.
I honestly thought I was going to be the only Dominic.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to go Dominic for 8.
I've just been thinking about it. Like it kind of makes too much sense.
Yeah. The more I've thought about it, the more it makes sense. Yeah. And then we have the triple threat for the women's title: Io Sky, Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. I went with Io for 4. I think Io's going to win. It's the logical step in this feud because she's been like kind of overshadowed in her own title feud. But I'm gonna go Io for 4.
I'm gonna go Io for 2.
Io for 2. Okay.
Yeah.
Io, Ripley, Bianca. Who you got?
I got
Any choice here is a good pick because they're all incredible. Bianca could continue her WrestleMania undefeated streak. She's never lost on the main card of Mania. I think she lost on a pre-show one year, but that doesn't really count. Rhea's possibly the biggest star in the company. Io deserves it the most and makes the most storyline sense. Like it could go anyway.
I know it's hard to pick.
That's why I only put 4 and he only put 2 on it.
I'm gonna go with Rhea Ripley for 9.
Rhea for 9. All right, so that means that you're going to have to put 10 on the last one.
Yeah, that's what I was debating back and forth with.
Shane, you're going to have to put 12 on the last one. I have 11 left, so we're all putting big money on the Night 2 main event. I'm going Cena.
Yeah, Cena.
You going Cena? What do you got? This is, I think he does it. I think he did 17. His last WrestleMania.
Ric Flair.
God, this is so hard.
Ric Flair legitimately dies.
Ric Flair can't be there.
No, he'll be in the crowd. He'll jump the crowd.
No, he can't be in the crowd because he's still on AEW contract.
No, I read that's not true.
That's not true? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want Cena to win it.
Because he
but
is.
Does he actually go through and...
See, my only holdback was, does he do it as a heel? Or does he turn babyface by the end of the year and win another one, is what I was thinking.
Even heel face, you know how Cena really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, is he going to take that?
Well, he spent the last, 4 years only putting over younger talent. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think it versus a heel because he's like you said, last 4 years putting over younger talent. None of those guys panned out.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Really,
done.
yeah.
He's tired. He's not doing it anymore. He's taking the belt for himself. He's the only one who can do it.
Yeah. Who you going with, Jolka?
John Cena for 10.
Cena for 10. All right. This is going to be an interesting one. That is, just by the way, for anybody wondering, 91. If you get every prediction right, you get 91 points. So that's the max you can get. That's big money. I think what's our highest score been? I think it might have been when I got 50 on Wrestle Dynasty. Yeah, that's the highest anyone scored on one night was Wrestle Dynasty when I got 50. So we'll see how it goes. On to Windy City Riot, the New Japan show in Chicago this past weekend. Shane was there in person. I watched on TV. I guess we'll go match by match and talk about what you thought. Overall, how was just the general experience in the building?
In the building was pretty good. There were some points where the crowd was kind of low, but those came near the end.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty good.
All right. The opening match was TJP versus Tom Lawler in what was actually a really good match.
Haven't seen it.
You didn't watch it?
No, we were outside waiting for the food that we didn't get.
Okay, so you didn't get to see it?
No, I didn't.
I really liked it. I gave it 4 1/4. It was actually a very good technical bout with some fun flying and stuff.
How were you not there 4 hours early, tailgating?
We were because it's in the actual city, but it's in Chicago itself.
Yeah, it was in Wintrust Arena.
So I went there with some friends. We left, and then my friends were coming now, so I waited for them.
Oh, okay. Did you get to see the Mina Shirakawa Azumi?
What do you think?
You were seated for that.
I was seated as soon right before the entrances, man.
Goes to a draw.
I was not a fan of the draw.
You weren't a fan of the draw,
Not
but
really.
it means they'll both challenge Mercedes at Resurgence in California, somewhere in California, Long Beach. So basically,
I'm fine with
at
it.
the greater LA area.
It was a good match. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I give it 3 3/4. That was a pretty good match.
I wish Suzuki won, but it was pretty good.
It'll be a banger triple threat.
Yeah, it will.
when we get there. Yeah. World Class Wrecking Crew versus the Intergalactic Jet Setters.
This was fun.
Yeah, I thought it was a pretty good
I
one.
really liked the Wrecking Crew. They're really fun heels. Shout out to Terrell Davis.
Yeah, Royce Isaacs wearing a Terrell Davis jersey, which was awesome.
And so for context, I think a friend didn't like wrestling at all.
Mm-hmm.
He called the Intergalactic Jet Setters purple, and
They were wearing a lot of purple.
the other team bald.
Nice.
He was really in this match. It was fun. I gave it. I would say about 3 3/4.
I gave it 3 1/4.
Okay,
So we're kind of on the same page. Next, the 30-minute Iron Man match for the strong openweight title. Gabe Kidd versus Tomohiro Ishii.
Legitimately one of the best matches I've seen all year.
A hard-hitting match. Pretty good. I wouldn't go as far as say one of the best matches I've seen all year, but it was pretty good. What were your thoughts on it?
I mean, of course, being there kind of makes it.
I guess that's true.
different.
Being there,
But
it boosts the rating.
Just the whole crowd was into it. They were cheering for Ishii. They were booing Gabe Kidd hard.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as he's boos, he's getting fully into it.
Yeah.
It was a good match. They really went after each other with it. There's trading finishers, trading lariats. There was a Kobashi Sasaki chop battle that felt like it went longer than the actual chop battle in that match did. But other than that, I thought it was one of the better matches I've seen all year, especially in person since for a while. I gave it 4.5.
So I gave it 3.5. I just didn't like it as much as I liked their first match. Their first match I gave 4.5. It was awesome. Just didn't click with me the same way. Didn't really roll with me. So I gave it chop battle. I don't love chop battles, but it was 3.5. Still pretty good match. Pretty damn good match. So then we got El Phantasmo and the Rocky Romero. Thank you for letting us have relationships with our companies. Thank you for bringing all these companies together. Rocky Romero gets a spot on the card against Tetsuya Naito and Titan. What ends up being Naito's last New Japan America match.
Yeah. So Naito takes forever to get out.
Mm.
I yelled at him while recording. I was like, "Get the fuck out, brothers!"
Yeah.
Other than that, it was a very fun match for Naito, especially when Naito with his shirt on. So there's that. A little bit of drama between ELP and Rocky Romero.
Yeah.
But they still kind of together a little bit. Got the Linden win. But the highlight of the match comes after.
Yeah. I gave the match 3 1/4. But
I gave it 3.
Okay. And then talk about what happens after the match.
Oh, God. So Naito and Titan get a chair. They go around. They're like doing their things. They put the chair down. And they invite this fan dressed in a Jushin Thunder Liger suit, morph suit.
Full Jushin Thunder Liger suit.
With the mask. Tell him, come on. You can sit right here. Come on. The fucker actually does it.
He actually jumps the barricade.
He jumps the barricade, and the young lion's like, no.
The security young lions who just immediately get, I mean, Naito almost gets this guy killed.
Oh, man, you can't invite somebody and then security? That's messed up.
But that was really funny.
It was really funny. It was the funniest part. I had to explain that guy's not a part of the show.
Yeah. And then we had Zack Sabre Jr. versus the leader of the War Dogs, David Finlay. A match that was hard for us to predict because we both were like, both these guys need to win. ZSJ ends up winning it. What was it like in the building?
I'll be real. The crowd, this match kind of sucked, but it was right after.
Well, what has ZSJ said? Doing a technical wrestling match for American crowd is like reading Shakespeare to a dog.
Yeah, he kind of proves it here. I liked it.
I loved it.
I thought it was a pretty good match for what it was.
I gave it 3 3/4.
I gave it 3.5. I know the guy I went with who didn't watch wrestling before this. It was a little hard for him to follow because he's not. Technical wrestling's not the best entryway.
No, it's not. That's why anytime someone's like, I want to get into wrestling, the first match I recommend is the Triple TLC from X7. The Dudleys, Hardys, Edge, and Christian. I'm like, watch this. If you like this, you'll like wrestling.
Okay.
That's my entry point for people.
So I gave it 3.5.
Okay.
That was pretty good, but the crowd kind of brings it down.
In a rare New Japan move, the IWGP World Title going on in the semi-main, Haruki Goto versus Shota Umino.
They knew.
Yeah, this was worst match of the card for me. Still pretty good. Gave it a 3.
Give it 2.5.
2.5.
The guy Shota.
I like Shota more.
I don't like Shota's style. It's very cliche. He'll do comebacks like, I gotta win.
That's kind of what his character is, though. Is he's trying to bring back Japanese strong style by doing it in the most, and that's the heel part of it, is that he's doing it in the most cliche, over the top way possible.
It's like a really, really worse Kenta Kobashi.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's trying to do.
I don't like it.
All right.
I don't know. If there was a dude laying down on the mat saying, I gotta win, I would kick him in the forehead. Just stomp.
And then the main event, Konosuke Takeshita versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. This is Tanahashi's final match in America before he wraps up his retirement at the beginning of next year. This was a really good match.
I was way into it from the beginning. I think it was a nice move, having a smart move putting on Takeshita, who's been a regular in the States for last. Tanahashi, of course, come on. It was a good match for what Tanahashi could do these days. I thought it was what they expect him to do.
One of the better matches of his retirement run so far.
He's a beautiful sling weight off top rope.
It was awesome.
I gave it 4.
I also gave it 4.
Okay.
So we're on the same page with that one. Yeah, so Tanahashi's send-off, his last, he cuts a very emotional promo at the end, which I thought was a very cool moment.
I made us stay for.
Yeah, so that was really cool. I mean, hats off to Tanahashi. I guess we can kind of, we did just went out last week was our Final Resolution 2006 review, which was a TNA pay-per-view, Tanahashi's first televised match at the States, all the way back in 2006. Here we are 19 years later. And he's starting to wrap up his career and this last match in America. So just, thanks to the Ace. I'm sure it was an awesome experience for you getting to see him in person. One of those guys who I just never got to see but everybody's got those. There's some that get away. So on to, let's see what's next. Oh, tape up the light tubes. Take the door off its hinges. It's time for Shane's GCW corner.
We're good. This is also going to be the big one. This is the collective one. So I figured we could do in Jolka by vibes alone. We're going to do some soft predictions. No points.
All right.
Give me
I'm going to let the wrestling gods flow through me.
I think I'm going to have to tell you some people for a couple of them.
No, just tell me their names.
That's what I meant.
Okay. Yeah.
We're gonna start with the matches that you're gonna be able to do. So we'll start with Minoru Suzuki and Butterbean.
Suzuki and
Butterbean. Butterbean.
Yeah, I think it's gotta be Butterbean. I think Suzuki takes the fall for Butterbean.
I think he does, and Dan Severn being the special guest ref.
Dan Severn's.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting how crazy this match is, dude.
Yeah.
There's so much going on this week. I keep forgetting about that one.
I wonder if he's bringing his chest hair.
Oh, he'll
probably. Sabu's final match, Born to be Wired, no rope barbed wired match. Sabu versus Joey Janela at Joey Janela Spring Break.
Yeah, so this is kind of in homage to a match he had with Terry Funk in ECW back in the day. I think Joey takes the fall for Sabu in his last match. Don't you think?
Sabu is 60, by the way.
I know.
In a barbed wire match.
He's eligible for the Senior Rumble. I think Sabu is going to win the last win, if he shows up.
It would be so funny if he doesn't show up. Do you think Joey has someone on standby in case Sabu doesn't show up?
I guarantee he does. I guarantee it.
Who do you think it is?
Probably this guy they have.
Oh, okay. It'd be funny if Sabu doesn't show up, but Rob Van Dam does, and he doesn't. Do you think we see Bill Alfonso?
Yeah, probably.
And his fuck ass whistle.
Probably during like a spot or like they cut the lights. Here's the whistle.
Oh, that'd be so funny, dude. But yeah, I think it's Sabu.
I'm gonna have to go with Sabu, as long as he doesn't die.
Yeah,
I know it's kind of worrying. The dude who had to have like a whole goddamn hip transplant and shit.
And then his opponent is in one hell of a mess because do you let him die or do you like pick him up when he's try to get his body to roll you up or something so he gets his last win?
I don't know.
You got to wrestle that dead body for his legacy.
I don't know. I just don't know. So
next match,
we're gonna do the clusterfuck. This is the Rumble on roids.
Yeah. So again, the rules of the clusterfuck.
So it is pin, submit, leave the building.
That is how you roll.
So the falls count anywhere.
Nope, because if you leave the building, you're out.
Yeah, but like falls count anywhere in the building. You can get pinned on the floor.
I don't think so.
In the backstage? Or like you have to leave the building completely or leave like the televised part? Like you go back through the curtain.
Leave the main bowl of the arena.
The last year they did the main bowl as like there's like the bit. So I think it's gonna be the main bowl, but they'll say they went right outside.
Okay. Because you gotta be specific because people will go fighting in the popcorn like. That's
I don't remember if it's false anywhere or not, but it's okay.
Okay.
So announced so far for the clusterfuck, super crazy. Maven, who is already out.
He's already been eliminated?
Yes.
How?
I don't fucking know.
Okay.
But Joey Janela said he was. Nate Webb, Paul London, the Human Tornado. Really? He's transphobic. Whatever. The Warlord, Dan Barry, Big fucking Joe, Cheeseburger, Manny Lemons, Dr. Redacted, Ashley Vox, Bam Sullivan, Jamie Senegal, CPA, who is best known for ripping the dress shirt off and really good dress shirt.
I've seen that.
Brooke Havoc, Jive Vidal, Kid Bandit, Brittany Brooks, Dustin Thomas, Lou Nixon, Bodie Young Prodigy, Santana Jackson, whose gimmick is Michael Jackson.
Yep.
Zeta Steele, Tara Zepp, Tommy Invincible. God damn it. Mystery, Invisible Man, Nasty Leroy, and Tombstone Jesus.
I'm gonna go Brooke Havoc.
God, I want to say the Invisible Man so bad.
Which, you know what? Micro Man won last year, so you never know.
I'm going to go Brooke Havoc.
I think it'd be funny if Unagi Sayaka wins it because she doesn't know what the clusterfuck is.
I want to say Paul London. I want to
say Paul London.
I'm going to say Cheeseburger.
That's a good
one. I like that pick.
I actually like that pick too.
I'm like, It's either going to be really bad or really good.
He's kind of
it'll be great.
He's a pretty good wrestler. He's just like really small. Just a really skinny guy.
Tiny.
He's tiny, yeah.
The next match I gotta name like a ton of people for. The 4th rope flyweight battle royal. This is like their world title.
And this is not flyweight like the weight class.
It's not.
It is fly as in like cool.
It
weight
is.
champion.
West Side Gun is the booker.
4th rope?
Yeah.
Like, did they put another rope up?
It's just West Side Gun.
It's just what West Side Gun calls his promotion.
Hey yo, I got a wrestling company called 4th rope.
I sold crack to a pine tree.
What the hell?
I stole that.
Funniest bit you guys have ever done.
I stole that bit from somewhere else. I don't remember where I seen it.
I sold crack to a pine tree.
I think it's Hive Mind, right? That's
Yeah,
a Hive Mind bit. Yeah.
What's this dude's name?
West Side Gun. He's a rapper.
He's a rapper.
He's a really good rapper. So so this show kind of weird. Matt Riddle's taking on Gabe Kidd.
I hate it.
Mustafa Ali, Trevor Lee, and Leon Slater.
That's awesome.
Zilla Fazio, Joshua Bishop.
Yep.
So
Because of course there's a fucking bloodline member in the collective.
and of course the Hardys and the mystery opponents.
The Hardys versus mystery opponents.
Yeah. But we're gonna do the 4th rope flyweight title match. This is a battle royal. It's 20 man.
Okay, 20 man, just straight up normal battle royal. All 20 guys start in the ring, get thrown over the top rope.
17 have been announced.
Okay.
Realistically, anybody could win this.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Nemeth,
Formerly Dolph Ziggler.
Kenny King, Elijah,
Formerly Elias.
John Wayne Murdoch, Nick Nemeth's little brother Ryan Nemeth,
Who is suing AEW actively.
Enzo Amore.
Wow.
Brian Keith,
Okay.
Mance Warner,
Awesome.
Isaiah Broner, Joe Alonzo, Kevin Blackwood, Cha Cha Charlie, Kevin Knight, Top Dollar, EJ Odyssey, EJ Nduka, and Mo Jabari.
I'm going Kevin Knight. He's got momentum.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be Kevin Blackwood.
Can you name those first ones again for me? Because I lost my train of thought as soon as you said dude's name. I'm like, no.
Dolph Ziggler.
There we go.
Kenny King.
No, Dolph Ziggler.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. That's also a pick.
As soon as you mentioned Enzo, I just had a brain fart. Like, system reboot.
I love me some Enzo Amore. I'm Italian.
SAWFT soft.
Yeah, all that shit, you know.
All right, what's the next match we're predicting?
I got one more from Shabik 9. The senior battle royal, the senior scramble. It's changed since last talked about it. So sorry, I'm bringing it back up again. Robert Gibson, Ricky Morton, Damian 666, better known as, I want to say, somebody in WCW. Let me look it up really fast.
I think he was in WCW.
He was, but I don't know if it was on a Damian 666 or not. So I'm not going to look. It was as
The
Damian.
Zodiac? Oh, okay, it's Damien.
Yeah, just Damian. The Warlord, questionable at best.
These guys are all over 55.
might
They're
not-
all questionable at best.
he might not be there, man. Like Ricky,
Any one of these guys could have a heart attack right now.
Say the real winner is going to be the local medical facility because they're going to make bank.
Yeah.
the guy who just told the world that Jerry Lawler raped a 13-year-old girl as a shoot. He's not going to be there anymore. Doug Gilbert and somebody else.
It'd be funny if Jerry Lawler was in it, though.
George South and Action Mike Jackson, the oldest competitor. Just guess how old he is.
Is he like 70?
67? 73?
75.
Wow.
5 years old. My God.
He's actually was crazy. He's still pretty good.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mystery guest Joe Biden.
I'm going to go with Ricky Morton.
Joe Biden not announced, so not an option here.
Special referee Joe Biden.
He's just sniffing everybody.
I'm gonna go Mike Jackson because he's a GCW guy not recently. Name an old dude.
One of the old dudes. I like Ricky Morton.
I'm gonna say Ricky Morton because he's a beast.
I love Ricky Morton.
No love
I love the Rock.
No love for Robert Gibson over here.
Nah, sorry, man. Sorry, Rob.
Fair. All right, we got 2 from Big Gay Brunch. Well, 3 related to Big Gay Brunch, actually, now that I think about it. We got Kid Bandit, ZSJ.
Yes, and we recently discovered that Zack Sabre Jr.'s affiliation with Big A Brunch is that he's vegan. That's what qualifies him.
We're pretty sure.
Yeah. I think Zack Sabre Jr. wins it, but it's awesome the Kid Bandit.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. And based on how names alone, go ahead.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kid Bandit.
Kid Bandit.
Yeah, there we go. Let's go. All right. And then the last match you're going to talk about here, Effie and Dark Sheik for the world title.
I think Effie keeps it. I think Effie keeps the world title.
Yeah, I'll say the same.
Effie? Yeah.
My roommate Fable was like, I want Dark Sheik to win. So I'm like,
yeah.
Let's see if anybody else
I don't think I've seen a Dark Sheik match yet.
She's all right.
Yeah.
Effie, I'm going to say Effie too, though. It just makes sense. Yeah. And finally.
If it wasn't for the title, I could see Dark Sheik win.
Yeah. But finally, Allie Katch has announced that her first 2 dates back will be at the WrestleCon and at Big A Brunch doing commentary. So my question to you is, over or under 4.5 mimosas drunk by Allie Katch?
Oh, easily over. She might hit double digits. How many mimosas is she going to drink at commentary for the brunch show?
I got
4.
Let's do a number now. How many do you think?
I'm going to go 8.
4.
I'm going to go 6.
Right in the middle. Okay, we'll see. Anything else from GCW Corner?
Straight edge, and it'll be funny. Okay. Oh, I forgot. So this year's Little Weird in about, I want to say 5 hours from now, since we're recording this, the WWID tournament will kick off. Mm-hmm. Who you got?
Who are winning the WWE ID titles? I'm going to go Kylie Ray for the women's.
Okay.
She's just the most established name there. I think that's just the easy pick. I'm going to roll with my boy Cappuccino Jones for the men's.
I like that.
Got to rep SEK, dude.
Of course. I'm going to pick the totally least shocking option, if you know me at all, which is the GCW Corner after all, for my pick for the men's. I legitimately think Addis Kogar has a chance.
I don't think he has a chance in the world.
It'll be awesome if he wins it, I think. But we'll see. Mm-hmm. All right, Jolka, for the men's, we have Sean Legacy, Cappuccino Jones, Bryce Donovan, Marcus Mathers, Sam Holloway, Jack Cartwheel, It's a Gal, Ice Williams, Aaron Rourke, Ricky Smokes, Brad Baylor, Jackson Drake.
It's a gal.
It's gal. All right.
I'm
not even sure. They said every ID person will be in it.
Okay.
So I'm assuming It's Gal will be there.
Yep. No, I think It's Gal's been announced. Yeah.
And the women's, it's Kylie Ray, Zeta Steele, and Zara Zucker. I think there's one more.
There's one more. There has to be one more. It's a tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking.
It's not Izzy Moreno.
It's not Izzy Moreno.
She's just in a regular match on that card. Trying to remember now.
Zoe Sager.
Okay. Those are your 4 that we have?
Yes, those are your 4.
Kylie Ray, Zeta Steele.
I'm going to go Zara. Did I say what I'm going to pick yet?
No, I don't think so.
Zara Zucker.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
Zara Zucker? Okay.
And for the men's, again, Aaron Roberts, Aaron Rourke.
I thought you already did the men's.
I did, but I'm sure remembers.
Rourke.
Okay. All right, anything else from GCW?
I mean, other than there's a lot going on.
There's a lot of GCW stuff up this week.
Yep. So yeah, I'll be seated there.
How much roughly are you predicting, like, total wrestling Mania? If you watch the Hall of Fame ceremony, if you watch NXT, including if you're going to watch SmackDown this week, and let's even include the Raw after Mania. How much total wrestling do you think you're going to watch by the time we get back here next week?
How many hours?
I think I might be around 40 hours.
How many hours is SmackDown? Is WrestleMania?
I'm predicting it's going to go 4 hours each night.
So that's 8.
Yep.
Collective shows about like 2.5. So
just a rough estimate how much you think you're going to watch. Like I said, I think I'm going to be around 40.
38 at least.
38, yeah. So we're watching a lot of wrestling this weekend. Like I said, I'm definitely going to watch the 2 nights of Mania. I'm going to watch the Hall of Fame. I'm going to watch a lot of GCW stuff. I'm going to watch that Dragon Gate USA show, Defy, bunch of other collective stuff.
I'm trying to watch both the Stardoms. Oh my God!
I might watch one of them.
Oh my God! Jacob Fatu.
What? Jacob Fatu just added Mance Warner?
They're going to Chili's together.
Nice.
I want to go to Chili's, brother.
So would you guys like to do a 3-point bonus question? or bonus prediction.
What's the bonus prediction?
What is going to be the run time of the total WrestleManias?
Total WrestleManias run time. Okay.
Combined night 1 and night 2.
Are we counting pre-show or just main
no,
show?
Main show.
Okay.
8 hours, 30 minutes, 29 seconds.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Okay, so you said 8:30. What was it?
8 hours, 30 minutes, 29 seconds.
Okay. Jolka.
Are we doing Price is Right rules?
Sure.
I was just gonna say whoever gets the closest to it.
1 second, Bob. No. Let's see. I think it's gonna be 6 hours, 49 minutes, and 12 seconds.
Okay.
I need to go with 4 each night, so.
I'm trying to think. They're gonna try to. I'm gonna go 8 hours, 7 minutes, 6 seconds. 876. So we'll see. We'll see who's closest. That can be the tiebreaker if there are any ties in our thing.
I would be so mad if that's what gets Jayden the win.
Yeah. On to our favorite things of the week.
I'm going to go with my bronze. I'm going to go with
The bronze handshake here.
quite a bit this week, wasn't there?
I mean, you went to a show in person.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the NJPW Strong Tag Team match.
Okay, so that was World Class Wrecking Crew versus the Intergalactic Jet Setters.
Yep.
What was your third favorite thing this week, Jolka?
It would have to be Jey Uso forgetting he's not supposed to yeet and then, like, watching him cuss himself out before the camera cut away.
Nice. My bronze is going to be that Tanahashi promo from the end of Windy City Riot. That's my bronze. What's the silver handshake?
It's going to be... I'm going to go with...
A lot of good stuff this week.
It was. So I'm trying to think hard about it. So if I don't want to have this and that or miss that, you know?
Yep.
I'm going to pick Tanahashi versus...
Takeshita?
Yeah.
All right. What was your second favorite thing this week?
Gunther losing his mind.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Pretty good promo.
That's my number 4.
My silver is going to come from Raw. I really liked the Rey Mysterio Julius Creed match. I think they did great. I've always loved Julius Creed. Since the first time I saw him in NXT, I've just been like, this guy is awesome. He's gonna be a star someday.
Yeah.
And I really liked his match with Rey this week, so that's my silver.
I love how they kicked everybody out.
Yeah.
Like, just everybody get the hell out of here.
What is your gold handshake?
Ishii versus Cape Kid.
Versus Kid. All right. And what was your number one this week?
Believe it or not, Finn Balor versus Penta.
That was pretty good too.
Yeah.
My gold, I went with the FTR, Tony Schiavone, Nigel McGuinness, Daniel Garcia, kind of that whole opening segment of Collision. So that's my gold this week. Onto the lightning round. This is going to be the least lightning round we've had. So many matches to talk
This is
about.
more of a
Like a light drizzle round.
Yeah.
It's going to last a while. So this is where we got Dynamite. We have some matches announced for SmackDown. And then we have a bunch of collective matches. I'm just going to get your excitement level on a scale of 1 to 10. A collective and other stuff. I do have some other, it's not all collective, but other things from around the WrestleMania week. First on Dynamite, Spring Breakthrough, the episode where Dynamite officially passes Nitro in episode number. So this week will be officially, they've had more episodes than Nitro. We start,
289.
what is it?
289.
289, yep. We start with Hurt Syndicate versus the Gates of Agony for the AEW World Tag Team titles.
9.
10. I love the Gates of Agony, dude.
The only thing to keep it close is I worried it's going to be a squash. That's it.
Yeah. Do you want to weigh in on the AEW stuff? Or?
I'd say a 9 because of the Hurt business.
Yeah.
But a lot of them I'm not going to really know that well.
Yeah. Hangman Page versus the Wild Card, whoever that may be, in the Owen Hart Cup.
I got to be real. 5. I don't know who's going to wild card's going to be this year.
Any guesses? Who would be if you had to predict, who would be your guess?
It's Sting.
I wish.
What should be Sting? I think I'm leaning Jack Perry.
Yeah,
as the most likely option.
That's why I'm a 5.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably like a 7, just the excitement of it, and it's Hangman Page.
Yeah, Hangman Page is good, so that'd be a 6 or a 7.
Konosuke Takeshita versus Will Ospreay in the Owen Hart Cup.
9.
Yeah, 9. These guys are awesome. This might be a 10 for me too. These guys are just awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely a 9.
Athena, formerly Ember Moon, versus Mercedes Monet, in the Owen Hart Cup.
10.
That's a 10 also. This Dynamite is so exciting, dude.
I'll go at 8.
And then the Death Riders, which is Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, and John Moxley, versus the Ops, which is Samoa Joe, Katsuyori Shibata, and Hook.
Maybe
I'm going for the trios titles, like in 7, 8.
I'm gonna go 7 too.
Yeah, I might go 7.5.
I'll probably go 5 because I'm not a real big fan of the trios.
Yeah. On SmackDown, we have Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, and Zelina Vega versus the Green Regime, Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, and Alba Fire, right?
I am mandated by my citizenship to give it 10.
Probably a 6.
In reality, it's a 7.
I would say like a 5, yeah. Street Profits versus the Motor City Machine Guns for the tag team titles.
If it was on Mania, a 10.
Mm-hmm.
If it's just not, I'm gonna give it a 7.
Okay.
5.
And then, I'll probably go like a 7. Probably with you. The Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I'm probably like a 6 for it.
I'm gonna give it an 8. Is it like Battle Royals?
Yeah, I'm gonna say a 9.
Who do you guys think will win the Andre?
I don't know.
I think Braun Strowman would be fun.
Yeah.
He's won it before.
Yeah.
2-time winner. This happened before.
I mean, how many really
Carmelo
big
Hayes?
people are there left?
Carmelo Hayes doesn't have a Mania match. He could just win the Andre. I don't know. I'm trying to think of who else could.
There's not really many monsters left.
Yeah, it's true. Obafemi comes up from NXT and just wins it.
Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, he's got a
They
Mania match. So I don't know if he'll be in the Andre. Usually the Andre is where they throw everyone they couldn't get on the Mania card. You know what I mean? Dragon Lee would be a cool winner. I know I'm picking small guys, but I mean that's fun. Small guy Battle Royal winner is always fun.
Yeah.
All right, other matches that are happening this week on the ID title tournament show, the GCW side of the ID title tournament. Kylie Ray versus Zeta Steel out of 10. Probably like a 7 for me.
Yeah, I'll say it. I'm about to say 7. Yeah.
I don't
No
know.
idea.
I can't give an honest assessment.
On the Defy show, Kenta versus Mance Warner.
10.
Yeah, that's like a 9 for me. Josh Barnett versus Gabe Kidd on Bloodsport.
A 9.
Yeah, probably like a 7.5 for me.
Okay.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus Jonathan Gresham on Bloodsport. That's a 10 for me.
Yeah, it's 10. Yeah.
Timothy Thatcher versus Pete Dunne on Bloodsport.
7.
Yeah, we've seen these guys mix it up in NXT before all over Europe. This will be a great one. I'll probably go like an 8. All right. From the Progress show, this is the UK indie that'll be running in Vegas. We have Simon Miller, who is a YouTuber and also a wrestler, defending his Proteus championship against Effie, Adam Priest, Charles Crowley, and Emmy-winning actor Paul Walter Hauser.
Wow. Ratings an 8. You want to know why? Here's why.
I'm going like a 7. This is exciting.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Miyu Watanabe versus Masha Slamovich at TJPW, which we now know is for the Knockouts title.
10.
10. I'm probably an 8 on that. Mizuki versus Miyu Yamashita for the Princess of Princess Championship at TJPW.
I'll give that a 9.
Like I said, I don't really know these people. I like Miyu. I'll probably go like a 8.
Yeah, good.
I'm excited for it.
Good, whatever, man.
Robert Gibson versus Ricky Morton versus Damien 666 versus George South versus Mike Jackson versus the Warlord.
Easiest 10 of my life.
So 10.
Easiest.
What's the combined age now? Like 379 or
It
something?
went way up.
It's so
Because they
good.
dropped the youngest guy.
Yeah.
And they added like the
An
guys
older
who were
guy.
62, 63.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus one called Manders at Spring Break.
I'll give it an 8.
Yeah. Gabe Kidd versus Mance Warner at Spring Break.
A 10.
That's a 10, yeah. Sabu versus Joey Janela in the no ropes barbed wire match.
A morbid 10.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how this is going to go 10.
I'll probably go an 8. Mustafa Ali versus Trevor Lee versus Leon Slater. Heels have eyes. Probably like a 7.5.
It's 7.5, yeah.
Grizzled Young Veterans versus Violence is Forever for the DPW tag team titles. The DPW show. 8. Where can you watch DPW?
Watch DW.TV.
Okay, so their own streaming thing?
Yeah.
Okay. I might see if I can fit that into my schedule somewhere.
I have a
Bounce
big
Forever.
Forever.
On Friday.
Bounces Forever are going to do against Alec Price and the Mystery Partner too.
Oh, okay. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kid Bandit at Big Gay Brunch.
10.
Konosuke Takeshita and Masha Slamovich versus Miyu Yamashita and Shinya Aoki at the GCW versus DDT versus TJPW show.
Look at another 10.
10. And then from NXT Stand and Deliver, Obafemi versus Trick Williams versus Javon Evans. I'm at a 10 for this. I'm excited.
Eat your house, Triple H. 10.
Yeah. What do you think of that NXT main event? Obafemi versus Trick versus Javon Evans.
Probably a 10, yeah.
Probably 10, yeah. What's the title injury 10 of the week? What's the number one thing? Let's include WrestleMania.
Ooh.
Number one match you're looking forward to this week.
You guys go first.
Shoot.
Randy Orton and the Invisible Man.
I think for me it's Punk Seth Roman. I
Really?
think that's the number one I'm looking forward to this week.
Miyu Watanabe versus Masha Slamovich.
What do you got? What's your number one? I mean, it could
Probably
be whatever.
Cena
Randy
Rhodes.
Cena Rhodes. That's
Yeah.
good too. Like it's a packed week of wrestling. It's going to be awesome. Match recommendation of the week. I decided to go 10 years back to WrestleMania. I'm going to go with Seth Rollins, Randy Orton from WrestleMania 31, the iconic RKO out of the curb stomp. And also just an incredible match overall.
Can't go wrong with that one.
Yeah.
Either Seth match, actually, I'll show you.
That show. Yeah, I just didn't want to bring up one of the guys in the main event. Just don't want to mention him ever.
It's fair.
If you want to listen to some more of us, classic reviews, like I mentioned, we just put out Final Resolution 06. WrestleMania 21 will be coming out later this week to celebrate WrestleMania. 20th anniversary of that show, of course, was recently. It's WrestleMania week. It's the biggest. Like this week more than any week. I mean this the most. Just enjoy wrestling.